Hello and welcome to Nebula Talks. Before we begin, we have a few updates and reminders for you. We would love to have you be part of our Nebula community. And you can do so by logging on to www.nebula.com, where you can join communities related to your area of interest, register for upcoming Nebula Talks, book one-to-one skylifts, and view other upcoming events. You can also take this opportunity to connect with fellow learners or the speaker by sending a connection request. When you connect with the speaker, you will be able to contact them directly as well as receive updates about their upcoming talks. Kindly note that during this session, you will not be able to switch on your camera or unmute your mic. To ask questions during the talk, go to the audience chat, type your question, and select Post Your Question. If your question has not been answered during the talk, you will be notified once it's been answered, or if your question has not been answered during the talk, you can go to www.nebula.com and spin a quest, and your questions will be answered. Thank you for joining us today. We hope this talk broadens your horizons and takes you to new learning heights.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Nebula Talk. Before we dive deep into the questions, let me introduce you to our platform and our guest speaker today. Nebula is a community-based platform that helps students who want to work or study abroad to connect with the right mentors by building a powerful ecosystem through community and technology. Today, one of the scholars we have on board is Brahmadatha, who is presently pursuing her Masters in Art and Science at in the Global Sustainable Development at University of Warwick, and she's also a Commonwealth Scholar. In today's talk, she will be taking us through the Commonwealth Scholarship as well as her course at University of Warwick. Brahmadatta, please introduce your journey and about your course in few words.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Brahmadatta. I'm doing my Global Sustainable Development Masters in Arts and Science at the University of Warwick. I got in I came in September, like I was in the September intake of students. And yeah, currently I am on my second term of my course. So I'm a Commonwealth Scholar as well. So, currently, as a global sustainable development student, I am it is more like an arts and science course. So, after I actually did my engineering back home. So after that, I sort of worked for 3 years, 1.5 year with Amazon and 1.5 year in a startup. I worked in a startup. So I co-founded the fisheries sector of agriculture farmer producer company. So while I was working in the farmer producer company, I kind of got to know that I lacked a lot of skills. I mean, I was learning. I was always learning, in my journey as in my startup. So I felt I have to be educated. I mean, I was definitely making an impact back there, but you get the feeling that, oh, you're not the best, you could be better, all the time. So I sort of parallelly applied to universities, scholarships as well, because of course my parents are not going to pay for it. And yeah, I really don't want to have a debt for myself. So I want to be free, uh, when I pursue my, I don't have to have the burden of loans and stuff like that when I'm doing my masters. So I sort of applied for literally all the scholarships I got to know about. And yeah, I'm here doing global sustainable development. So if you ask me more about the course, it is I'm from somebody from science background. I'm learning a lot of economics, philosophy, social aspects, business, policy. There is a lot of it that is going on. I mean, it's just the masters in UK is just for 1 year, so it is very very hectic. It's very hectic. You literally have a no, a life outside of that studies, but you definitely find some, of course. But it is pretty hectic, because like in 1 year we are completing a master's. So so we are doing, a lot is going on. So so yeah, so like yeah, that is a brief about my course basically.
Thank you so much, Brahmadatha. I mean, I first I want to dive into your Commonwealth Scholarship and about a bit about your course. But I think you gave a holistic picture of how your life has been so far and what it looks like presently. So thank you so much for that insight.
Yeah,
And I think you described a perfect scholarship candidate who doesn't want to ask money from parents and doesn't want the pressure of loans also, but also wants to keep learning,
yeah,
because everyone, no matter how smart you are, but after some point in your career you feel stagnant, you feel like you're not growing. So
yeah,
people
yeah, yeah,
usually think masters is for just graduates, and but I think people who have 2 to 3 years of working experience are very prime candidates for masters, because they are at the perfect stage of they know what they like, they don't like, and now it's time to niche down.
yeah,
So thank you so much for that insight. So before we go into your Commonwealth scholarship applications, can you just let us know that you did your bachelor's in electronics and communication
yeah.
and from in India, and when did you realize that sustainability is something that you want to study towards? Because when we even go to study abroad, the first thing we finalize is a course, is we have skeleton of the course we want to do, right?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
did you go about it?
So I think, like, right from when I was in my sorry, in my 12th standard, during that time, I was into, like, like conservation stuff, environmental stuff, but I really didn't dig much into that. So, like, as usual, Indian students do, I also went for engineering. um after my 12th standard. So I did electronics and communication engineering. I like, in the beginning, I really didn't enjoy much of my engineering degree, but, like, through course, like, I was very active during my bachelor's. Like, I was always busy. I was doing something or the other. So, like doing something or the other, it was like a trial and error for me, basically. Like, I was getting to know what I liked, what I did not like, what I disliked. So, like doing a lot of things sort of helped me figure out what I really want. So so, like in the course of my bachelor's, I really got to know that, like, I mean, like, I love making an impact. I love doing something that has, something that is, like, social, like, I would say, like, social entrepreneurship, or maybe something that can impact the people, the humanity. So something that is beneficial for the vulnerable sections of our society. So that was sort of, because right after bachelor's, like, you have been student for quite a long time, like after school, after your bachelor's. So you need money. So that is, like, that is one aspect that is going through, like, every student's mind. So, like, I got a job in Amazon. So, like, I thought maybe, like, I will work here for a bit. That was also like a trial and error. I was a risk analyst there, like something very different from my masters. So there also it was learning. It was a lot of learning, though I was, like, not sticking to what I learned in college. But I learned something very different that I kind of realized that I enjoyed. And I realized that risk, like, like, understanding risk is another main important thing while doing business. So that was another learning for me. So, like, after, like, 1.5 years of doing my in my Amazon, I sort of realized that, like, I mean, I already had this doing something for the society, doing good for the society thing in my mind. So while I was working there, I was also engaged in, CSR activities in Amazon. I used to teach students, teach girls across rural Bangalore. And yeah, like, I was sort of involved in, like, pretty much a lot of stuff. So, like, after that, I kind of realized that, like, this is not something I really want to do. So I kind of did some research, and I got into, like, so many research aspects. I got into a company, like I approached a company in Kerala. So they were sort of working on agricultural farmer producer company. So they were working on a lot of stuff. It was like a startup. So like I told, like, this is what I want to do, so can I be a part of it? So they sort of helped me figure out a lot of things. Like, so I could say, like, when I approached them, like the mentor, like he was basically my mentor. Like, I'm realizing it later on. The person that I approached, I went and approached the right person. So I'm grateful for that. So that person kind of helped me, like, introduce me, like, these are the opportunities. You can work in this field, this is what the society needs, this is what, like, as budding engineers, or budding, like, people, like, budding young youths, like, what exactly
Right.
they can do for the society. So yeah, I sort of figure out that, like, what are the problems. That was the main question. What are the problems, and what solution can I do? Like, from my, like, we are all privileged, right? I mean, like, I have a degree, like, my parents gave me all the education that I need. So, like, what impact can I do with all the things that I have been, given with? So there is always a thing of giving back to the society. So, like, I was very keen on that. So yeah,
Right.
so being a student, I mean, being somebody from a coastal state, I'm from Kerala. So like, I sort of kind of figure out that, yeah, like, fisheries is an important thing that
Right.
nobody gives a damn about, I think I should say like that. Sorry. So yeah, like, fishermen are one of the most vulnerable section of the society, like, especially in India.
Right.
Like, I think especially in, like, not just in Kerala, like, I think in all of India. So so yeah, I sort of worked on that. I kind of, like, loved doing that. I literally was involved doing that. So I think at a point when I was so much immersed in my work, at one point my parents even told me, like, even if you don't get a scholarship, they are ready to pay. I mean, they're ready to, like, take a loan or whatever, like,
Right.
I was so much immersed in my work at one particular point. So yeah, so, like, the passion maybe. So, and finding out the right right thing, what exactly you want to do, is one important thing. Like, while I was working,
Right.
like, like, you find a lot of courses that you would be interested in. Like, I am interested in business, like, I am interested in entrepreneurship, I'm interested in, like, I'm always keen to learn new stuff. So, like, when I look into, like, a lot of things, oh, I'm interested in all of it. So it's necessary to figure out what really you need. So
Right.
yeah.
I think the fire that and the passion that I see you in right now, and your parents and your mentors have seen, I think same thing. Commonwealth, scholarship organization also recognized when you must have pitched yourself for the scholarship. And like you were telling me before the talk that they have this pact with you that whatever you learned during your course, you have to give back to your country
Yeah.
and go back there and work. So diving a bit into this Commonwealth scholarship part, how did you discover the scholarship and how did the process go? Interview applications and SOPs, there are million things involved when you're pitching yourself
Yeah,
for a
yeah, yeah,
scholarship. So
yeah.
can you just walk our audience through that once?
Okay. If you ask me where I heard about the scholarship, it's actually a long story. So basically, like,
Right.
in my undergrad, I went for a 15-day entrepreneurship journey across India. So it is
Right.
called the Jagrati Yatra. Like, I don't know, some of you
Right.
might have heard about it. So it's like a 15-day entrepreneurship journey where I get to know 500 people from across India working in, various sectors. So these are like 500 new people, like, people I don't know. So,
Hmm.
like, and I actually went for this when I was in my third year of undergrad. So I came across a lot of people working with MNCs, who have their own business, people working on social entrepreneurship sectors, NGOs, like different scholars. So I got to know like people, a few Shivani scholars actually. So like that actually built a fire. Okay, there are opportunities like this. Like they told me like they have full funding for their masters. So that sort of amazed me. Like full funding for masters. That is nice. Like not everybody will get the opportunity to fund their masters program or their studies. So that's like I found that very interesting. So I kind of delved deep into what exactly all this is all about. And like I had it in the back of my mind. Yeah, I should get a scholarship. Like I mean, like I need to fund my studies like at some point. So like in a way, I had that in the back of my mind, and I was like actually like working for it like since then. Though like what do you call it? Yeah, yeah, never mind. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah. So that is like the story behind how I got to know about the scholarship. So during my time at Amazon, I discovered like various opportunities, and during my working with the startup, like I got to know like there are Commonwealth scholarships which can be offered for like low income countries. Then there is Chevening scholarship, there is STEM scholarship, and a lot more other scholarships that you never know about. I mean, you have to dig deep into like the scholarship opportunities. There is a lot of scholarships going on. So like I actually applied for Chevening scholarship and Commonwealth scholarship. I was selected for Chevening scholarship as well, but I didn't get through the interview. So like that was a major miss. So the Commonwealth scholarship, I would say, the first before applying for Commonwealth scholarship, what you have to do in the big, like before applying for that, is like select the universities and select the courses. Like they have Commonwealth have a list of universities and list of courses. That is the difference between actually Commonwealth and Chevening. Chevening have the privilege to apply for whatever course you are interested in, but Commonwealth have a set of courses and a set of universities, and you can only apply for that particular courses and that particular universities. So that is
Right.
one thing with Commonwealth. So like you may not be interested in that set of courses and universities that they have listed out in the Commonwealth thing. So you have to figure out what you want to do. So shivering scholarships have the privilege to like being open, like of doing whatever course you want. So I basically went through the list of courses, went through the list of
Right.
universities. So I charted it down, like which all universities and which all courses I really want to do, and I started applying for it. Like I prepared my SOP. I Then you have to have references, like reference, like especially if you were working with a firm, you basically need to have at least one professional reference and one academic reference. That would be great. Or maybe I think like sometimes they may ask for three references. So I would say like it depends on the number of experience, like the number of years of experience that you have. Like if you have like 5 to 6 years of experience, like like you will have to give two professional reference and one academic reference maybe. So since I had like 3 years of experience, I sort of gave one professional reference and two academic references what that I've gave. So you have to prepare the
Right.
yeah, the SOPs, the
The
reference.
SOPs, yeah. The
Yeah.
references.
So
I mean,
usually, yeah, yeah,
you were saying that you did not make it through the Shivning scholarship interview, but things did work out well for you with the Commonwealth scholarship. So,
yeah,
how would you suggest a one prepares for the interview? I mean, then like I think it depends on the candidate's day also, because it doesn't, if you didn't make it to the interview round doesn't mean you're less deserving of it. But how to be at your best game, because those 30 or 45-minute conversation might decide the next trajectory,
yeah.
of your career. So can you give some tips on the same?
on the interview process. Actually, Commonwealth didn't have any interview, so I'll talk like about the Shivening interview. Shall I?
Yeah, I mean, if you have some tips in general, like, if you're
Yeah,
preparing for
like
the
I think
Commonwealth
like
Scholarship. Yeah.
I think it, like you said, it's a lot about the day, like how we feel. Like it depends a lot on
Right.
that actually. So I did make it through the application process, and it is like they get around, like, 50,000 applications, and I was selected
Right.
out of that 50,000 application, and they choose a very small number of people for interview. So I was actually grateful that I went through the I was selected after the application process. But interview was actually, I was a bit down that day, to be honest.
Right.
And like I was, but after the interview I was sort of happy. I actually, I felt like I actually did good, but I could have done better. But I could have done really better. So it's all about like how you present, like the passion in your eyes, like the doing the things that you love about. So uh, yeah. So the interview process was, like I had, like, I think like three panelists, and me. So it was online as well. Like I think because of, like, after the COVID, like usually like
Right.
people have to go to like Chennai or Bangalore or Delhi, like on for face to face interview. That was before COVID. That was what happening before COVID. So like after COVID, it was all like online. Maybe I think I could have done better if it was like, face to face. So yeah,
Right.
that is live the Commonwealth. I mean, live the chevening. I will talk more about Commonwealth. So Commonwealth did not have any interview actually. So Commonwealth have like 12 essays, 12 long
Wow.
essays. Yeah, yeah. And it is a very rigorous process. Like it is very mentally, draining as well in a way. So you have to figure out, like it is like, you have to make a basically a goal chart for yourself. So what exactly do you need? Like you're telling your story, like you're conveying to people somebody who is sitting 500 miles away to read your story and understand it, and you are from an underdeveloped, I mean from a developing country, and you are competing with people from Bangladesh, from South Africa, like from people from Kenya, people from Rwanda, people from Nigeria. So like you are competing with these students. So for example, say like somebody in Bangladesh who have the same qualification as me, so the chances of me getting the scholarship is zero. Like
Right.
you are competing with somebody who is from an for even under, I mean even underdeveloped nation as ours. So that is what we have to think about, like how best we are, like we have to be literally the best. And they will be getting, like, like is like literally like a job application, like they'll be like getting 10,000 application, 100,000, 60,000 application from across the world. And it's all about how different you how what you have done, how what you have done has made an impact in the society. So that is what actually matters, and how you, of course, how you present to them, how you present the story to them is what matters.
Right.
Yeah.
So, in the 12, this, essays that you wrote, so did the deadline, like, it was obviously given to you. So, what
Yeah.
were the essay topics about? And also, there are my audience chat is just flooding with questions. I think with couple of questions, then we'll just direct ourselves to audience chat around 5:10. So,
Okay.
what were the essay topics about? Did you get it reviewed by someone? How did you go about writing it? Because, not necessarily everybody who goes into scholarships or study abroad programs are good with writing. So,
Yeah.
would you recommend having a mentor to review an essay also?
Oh, I highly recommend. Yes, yes. I did have a mentor. So, the 12 essays, like, I literally had like 24 drafts of all my 12 essays, to be honest. So, every time, like, I have been, like, you just simply, like, you will be relaxing, like, at some point, and you just think about the questions and just simply, like, note it down, just start it down. So that is, like, like, the ideation process takes a lot of time than actually putting it down on paper. So, like, I would say, take a lot of time ideating, like thought of, like, what you have done. You have to do something impactful. So you might have done something. So, like, think about it, how you can present it. Like, that ideation process takes a long time. So I would say, I would highly recommend, like, giving that time for ideation, like, you know so, like, write it down, like, how you can present you can convey your story to somebody. So, I think I have to go. Like, I can't remember the questions, like, as such. It was all about questions revolving around development. Like, for example, I would say, what are the development issues, like, in my country, like, and how you went about it. Like, then I would say, uh, they might have asked, like, what are the some of the outcomes that you aim to achieve. Then they will ask, like, what are some of the, like, how you aim to achieve these outcomes in this particular time frame. Then how do you think that these are going to benefit the people in your country and people in your society. These, like, I think that the essays all revolve around developmental aspects, and you have to go about it in that particular manner. So, like, I had a mentor. I approached a previous Commonwealth scholar, uh, previous chevening scholar, basically. So he sort of helped me review it. So I think I sort of gave my essay for review when I was literally in my five or sixth draft of my essays. So I'm not kidding when I say, like, I had 24 drafts. I literally had 24 drafts. So it was like sixth or seventh draft. So I gave it to him, and my sixth or seventh draft was actually the worst, basically. So what he told us, like, you are not even gonna make it like if you write like this. That is what he told me. So, like, I mean, like, so yeah, there was a lot of improvement from that on. Uh, how to go about it, like, how to approach the essays, like, how exactly you have to convey to the people who are reading this, like, you have done a lot. They have to know, like, you have done this much. So
Right.
that is very important. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that answer. And while you were saying, your questions revolve around development and sustainability,
Yes,
and
yes.
reaching the goals. So these essay questions are common across the board, even if you select an engineering program or a doctor's program or medical program, or
Hmm.
was it just custom made for a particular program? All these questions that you received.
um I didn't quite get you.
For
um
example, so your essay questions, were they common across the board for every
Yes, yes,
applicant?
of course, of course, of course. It is common across, like, it is like a set of 12 questions revolving around, and it depends upon what theme and what courses we have chosen,
Right,
basically.
that's what my question was. Does it
Yeah.
depend on that, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes, of course. The questions are, like, similar. Questions all revolve around development, and
right,
we have to relate it to the theme that we, like, Commonwealth have a set of themes, basically. If sorry, I forgot
right.
to tell you about that. So it revolves around five themes. I think I have to check what the themes are all about. I think it depends. The themes are basically on risk and resilience, technology and development, health, and a few more. I think you will have to check it in the website. Like, should I,
Yeah, yeah.
like,
No,
yeah, you can check it in the website.
yeah,
So
I'll check
these are
and
some of the themes that revolve around that, and your course will be connected to uh, these particular themes.
right.
So
So there
yeah.
are like six themes, I guess, for
Yes.
Commonwealth Scholarship,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
science and technology for development, strengthening health systems and
Yeah.
capacity,
Yeah.
promoting global prosperity, strengthening global peace,
Exactly.
security, and governance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the six themes. So, like, our course will be revolving around these six themes, and we have to write our essays in such a way that we are, like, like, answering the problems of our society with respect to these themes. So that is how we have to go
Right.
about it basically. So
Right,
yeah,
because when you said picking a mentor was
yeah.
very important, I believe that if you pick a mentor who has already been in the same theme as you wish to be, your
Mhm.
draft or the essays would be better reviewed and will have something in
Yeah.
common with your mentor. Because if you are somebody who wants to go for global sustainability and your mentor is from a medical background, you might not be on the same page with your mentor about your
But I think like that you need not be like approaching somebody who have done the same theme. That actually, like, maybe it matters, but I would say like it's more about the approach towards the essays. Like even somebody from medical background can also help you like with the
right,
essays, because the writing style is almost the same. The style of
right,
writing is almost the same, like even if you are applying for a public health or like global sustainability, the way of writing is like more or less similar. So you necessarily need not have to have somebody with the same theme, but
right,
somebody with like a previous scholar, that would be helpful, because they have
right.
gone through the whole process and they know how to like go about
Hmm.
it, like, and what works, what doesn't work. So they, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for that answer. I mean, I absolutely did not know, even after working in this space and talking to so many men, there are 12
Yeah,
essay
yeah, like
questions. That's
everything was a
quite
learning
a
for me
drill,
as well. Everything was a
right?
learning for me as well.
And I'm so glad for students who are going to be aspirants of Commonwealth Scholarship that they know this so they can start
Yeah,
preparing as early
exactly,
on as possible.
exactly.
Yeah, that leads to my next question. When you selected the University of Warwick
Mm-hmm.
and this course, Masters of Art and Science, what is the curriculum and how did you narrow down this course? Like, what in the 1 year program, how are the semesters divided and what does it teach you in totality? So when you graduate, what are the skills that you will use in your career and to help the country that you're going back to?
Okay. So I sort of narrowed it down to like, I think maybe like ten universities and courses. And I applied, and all these courses weren't exactly in the same theme. So I had to alter my essays according to the themes as well. Like like
Right,
sometimes maybe one course that I really love may not fall under the same theme that I wrote an essay before, for maybe global sustainable development. So I actually got into like 5 universities, and I had scholarship from 5 universities. So, and the rest five rejected my scholarships. But I had a full-time offer. So I got five university offer and scholarship offer, and five university offer, but they rejected my scholarship offer. So these were
can
all.
I interrupt you? I'm so sorry. When you say you had
Yes,
five
no worries.
university offer and five scholarship offer, like, do you mean the Commonwealth Scholarship was ready to sponsor these five colleges?
Yes, yes, and I have
Right.
to choose one. Yeah. So
Got
basically,
it.
I got an offer from 10, no, sorry, yeah, or 10 universities, because I applied for a lot of universities, and I got scholarship offer only to these 5 universities, and these five, the other five rejected. So like definitely I was like, I want to fund my studies. So like I chose these 5 universities. So out of this, like out of like these 10 who selected my uh university applications, like all was like somewhat related, like always revolving around sustainability, like environmental aspects, like business management, and all this like to get entrepreneurship, all this. So I had this offer from UCL. The course was prosperity, entrepreneurship, and innovation. And like I was so much, I really wanted to do that like so much, because it was on mm, a social entrepreneurship, a lot more on social entrepreneurship, but not really much into like like sustainability. It was more into like entrepreneurship aspect. So like I was interested in that as well, like but they didn't offer me a scholarship. So like then there was a lot of good courses and universities as well. So Warwick was one of it. And yes, of course I chose this university and course because I really loved it. So I went to like I went through the whole curriculum, and like this is exactly something I really want to do. And maybe like social ownership or social entrepreneurship is something that I can pursue later as well. Or maybe like I have a business module this term, so like it was like an added bonus. I'm learning that particular aspect as well, like along with all that. So like I was happy about it. Like oh, UCL rejected my scholarship offer. So, um, my I do like, since 1 year master is an intensive masters, you have like 3 terms basically for masters. Term one, which is from September to mostly from September, October to December. Then the second term is mostly from Jan to I think March end, yeah. And the next term is mostly from mid-April to September. So my course is designed in such a way, like it is entirely different for all the courses, like all the universities. So my course, MSc in Global Sustainable Development, is designed in such a way that I have to, in my third term, I have a lot of options to take. So in the third term, I basically have can either do a dissertation, can either work with a firm as a full-time employee and produce. I have to produce a report after that to my university, or a workplace or a practice-based project. So I have like 3 options that I have to choose. So like I'm really grateful for that, because maybe I may not be interested in doing a dissertation, like it is like full-time research work. So I already did like a sort of thesis work in my term one. So like I kind of can develop it, like if I want, side by side. I actually chose a workplace project in my third term, where I have to work full time with a firm and produce a report and present to my professors what exactly did I do in the firm. So basically, I'm looking for sustainability consultant jobs, sustainability manager roles, senior sustainability manager roles, CSR, ESG, etc., analyst roles. So yeah, this is
Right,
my like a brief intro of my course structure, and
right.
yeah,
Thank you so much. I mean, what you are doing is so interesting. And after COVID, especially, people didn't take environmental studies or any kind of sustainability studies very seriously. But as I think post COVID, we all have realized that not just to build society, but to make sure it sustains without harming anyone else
yeah,
is so important. And what you are doing at, and what University of Warwick is providing you with, to even design such courses which are very futuristic. That is very hopeful
exactly,
for
yeah, yeah, yeah,
students who are watching
yeah.
this right now. And now I want to ask the questions that our audience is asking us today, and we really have a great audience because the questions are so insightful that I felt like let me keep my questions take let my questions take a back seat and delve into theirs.
Okay.
So is working experience important when you are doing your masters? And I want to put it an angle of, while applying to the scholarship also, is the work experience important? Does it make you stand out? And while studying also masters, if you have couple of years back, like you did, you worked with a startup which helped you
Yeah.
to understand the sustainability part a lot, like worked with the
Hmm.
fishermen and everything.
Yeah.
Did it help you in your masters in a nutshell?
Of course it did. Like for me, like I think it is totally relative. So in my particular case, I had I had a particular time after my bachelor's to figure out what exactly I wanted. Like, so I was working somewhere. So like you can totally work what like after completing an electronics and communication master, you can totally work with a firm who is doing electronics and communication and work with semiconductors, etc., etc. But I chose to work with whatever I got into, and and understand what, like, do I really enjoy this, what exactly do I need. So yes, work experience is an added bonus. Like, not added bonus actually. For Chevening scholarship, there is a requirement of 2-year work experience. So you can only apply for Chevening scholarship if you have work experience, basically. So I think Commonwealth do not have that condition, but um, like in your bachelor's, like if you have actually done something impactful, then it should be fine. It should be fine. It's all like it. But mostly, Commonwealth scholars and Chevening scholars are people with work experiences who actually get into it. So I think, like, for Commonwealth, you necessarily need not have work experience, but work experience is, like, obviously an added bonus, because you're basically competing with students and other people with a lot of work experience, like 10, 15 years of work experience, basically. So for you to
Right.
stand out, so that is like one important part of it. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that answer. And to all the students watching this right now, please do make note of all of these things because, coming directly from a mentor, they're saving you a lot of time, trouble, and research when they're sharing that experience. And coming to the next question that we have, what are the academic standards when it comes to University of Warwick? Like, I have heard from a lot of mentors that what you study in India or any other country, for that example, when you go
Mm-hmm.
to developed countries like UK, US, who have these huge universities in place,
Yeah, yeah.
their pace of academics is very rigorous, and especially for 1 year masters. So when
Yeah,
you went in from India to the UK, how did you match with the speed of you know courses and the coursework and assignments that were coming your way?
yeah, yeah. Back in India, we have like 10 hour, 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours of class, like teacher is teaching us. Here, basically, my class for one day is like 2 hours. 2 hours, and the rest is like self study and research. So it was like a huge transition for me. I mean, like even in the class, we'll be given a set of recommended and essential readings that should be read before going to a class, and we'll be mostly having discussions revolving and around that topic, because my class is extremely diverse. I mean, we have people from like different across the world, basically. So like we'll get different insights, which I love about it. So global sustainable development, it is a development course. It is very important, like it is very important to have different angles and different perspectives to address one particular problem. So I love that about it. And yeah, and the readings that you do, like class is basically hardly for 1 hour 2 hour. Like, like you will have classes only for hardly 5 to 6 hours in a week. So the rest of the time is basically the study time, things study and research time, basically. So that was the transition that I have observed. I actually felt really weird when I came here first, because like nobody will be teaching. Like it's all discussion. It's all about getting to know various perspectives. Like maybe in the first few weeks I have had trouble, you know getting into that custom, but I kind of got along like on the way. And yeah, I love it, like how it
Right.
is, like how the research environment is. Like they literally ask us how much research we have done, how much research we have done is important, like, yeah.
Right. And research is an art on its own. I mean, to pick up a problem and dig deeper
Exactly.
and, compare it with other already like scholars who have commented on it with their thoughts. So, I mean, it's a very rigorous process, and I'm sure
Yeah,
you're facing a time there also
yeah,
in the
yeah. It's
university.
it's entirely different from what is back in India. Like it's very different. It's very different. Also, like we have student assistantship opportunities as well. But like some universities may not allow master students to do a research assistantship, it is mostly for PhD students, especially. I think it varies from department to department as well. For example, I really wanted to do research assistantship in my like, I love teaching students. So like, my course, my department only have opportunity for PhD students. So yeah, I couldn't do that because of some constraints with the department. Yeah.
I mean, no worries. I'm sure you will take your education to another level, and when it comes to that, I'm sure you will get those opportunities as well. So, like you said, with the Pact of Commonwealth Scholarship, that you're going to come back to the country and give
Mm,
help your country to develop better. So,
yeah.
what are the employment or work opportunities that flow your way when you do the masters in arts and science course and global sustainable development when you come back to India or in general in global perspective?
Okay. So I can either work with what I was doing in my startup. I can expand that startup. That is like my plan A, basically. uh, if not that, the plan B would be, I can apply to like lot of NGOs. I can work with United Nations environmental programs, United Nations development program, UNDP. Like they have, like, they prefers to like people with these particular backgrounds and these particular research background and research interest. So that is one area where I can work on. Then I can work on sustainability roles now. Like, as investors are mostly looking on firms that have, corporate social responsibility and environmental social governance, ESG, as their main, criterias. Like, so we have a lot of opportunities coming, not just in India, like across the globe, because they need people who assess, report all these sustainability aspects, and work on transitioning towards a carbon, like reducing the carbon footprint. So it is very important to look into all of that. And I'm pretty sure, uh since people are considering, environmental aspects and sustainability aspects in their day-to-day life, like, it is definitely a developing field, and a lot of opportunities are coming ahead. So yeah,
That's
we can work with NGOs. You have UN opportunities. You can work with the government. You can work with like firms if you want, like private firms, like working on sustainability, consultancy, reporting. Yeah, risk management. Yeah, all these aspects.
Thank you so much for that answer because if once you do the course for the passion you have, but when the students who are watching this, they should also know about the employment aspects of it because you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
invested so much time and money. It should reap
yeah,
rewards in long term as well as immediate rewards.
yeah,
And one of the topics that we did start this discussion with is importance of mentorship. So
yeah,
throughout your journey, like you said, the startup founder that you worked with, someone at your previous startup, he was the mentor for you.
yeah.
But how would you suggest like having a mentor from day one, and what are the areas you would seek most help in? So as a mentor, what kind of mentor you should select when you go about your master's program abroad?
Okay. So I actually contacted a lot of people, and this is like, this mentor didn't come like in the first instance when I contacted that person. No, like I had a lot of uh, like people whom I approached before this, coming into this particular person. So like, it also depends upon how much time they can invest in you as well. So it's more about, the relationship, like we develop with the person. Like, for example, I also contacted other scholars who were like extremely busy, like they couldn't dedicate their time for me. So like, definitely I will just move back to like whomsoever who can help me more. So yeah, like I literally contacted like 4 to 5 people. And in the end, I kind of revolve back to this particular person. And yeah, that is how I got into that firm, and I could work there, and I could, like, work on whatever I really loved. So, like, on mentor, like, you have to, like, communicate properly what exactly that you're looking for, what exactly do you actually need, what exactly you have done before, and what exactly you want to do and pursue. Like, all of this should be, like, clear, in my opinion.
Right. Thank you so much. And all the students who are watching this, like she said that looking for a mentor is also a task. And like
Yeah,
earlier you mentioned evening scholarship, STEM scholarship, and it's such a delight to tell people that all these scholars like you are there on Nebula, and they are offering services of their mentorship. Whereas there was a time where people would look across platforms for mentors, and now because of platforms like Nebula, mentors are coming forward and saying, hey, I'll help you with this, or I'm willing to review
yeah,
your SOP, or willing to help you with your essays. So please make do use of that opportunity, because at anyone's time who has been through the turbulence that you are about to go through is priceless.
exactly. Always happy to help. Always happy to help.
Thank you so much. And we have couple of other questions that we'll take before we sum up our conversation. So,
Yeah, sure.
like you said that you did go to the Evening Scholarship interview. Can you
Mhm.
share a couple of questions that might come across? Because, like you, even our students who are watching today might apply to various scholarships.
Yeah. So actually, like, there is no set of questions that they are gonna ask. Like, it actually totally depends upon what we have written down in the essays. So I can't say, like, oh, they are gonna ask you, like, this good question, that question. No, no, I can't say that. So it actually totally depends upon what, like, Chevening, I think, they have like four essays, four long essays, and and the and the questions totally depends upon those four essays that you have written it down. And yeah, of course, like everybody asks, like, will have to tell a lot about ourselves, like what we have done, what impact it has on the society, and what we will do, like, after, like, once, like, this masters, like, why do they give this scholarship to you? That is an important thing to answer. Like, why they should know, like, why should we give this many amount? I mean, like, 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs to this particular person, why should they give you? Like, they need an answer, right? So yeah, all these things are, like, basic things. And yeah, like, it mostly depends upon what we have written it down for the essays. I can't say, like, this will be asked, that will be asked. No.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one of the things that students should sit with a mentor first about is how to map out their story. And also, I have a follow-up question. When you say essays, do you mean SOPs also? Like, are they counted in the essays, or that's a different set of like document that you send across? Statement of
As
purpose.
statement of purpose, state SOP is mostly for universities.
Right.
Scholarship do not have an SOPs as such. They will ask for
Right.
resume, but not SOP. I think, like, Commonwealth Scholarship had one question stating. Let me see. One question stating, my my personal, yeah, Commonwealth Scholarship had a
Right.
personal statement
Yeah.
essay. Yeah, but chevening scholars, like, they did not ask for any SOP or anything as such. But, like, that answers will be definitely included in those four essays that they will be asking, right?
Right.
Yeah, it will be not,
Exactly.
they
Yeah.
will not be, like, asking, like, give an SOP or state your purpose. Like, it will be asked in
Right.
a different way, where we have to
But
include what we
yeah.
need. Yeah, including
Yeah.
in our SOP.
Old
Yeah.
wine, new bottle. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, true.
So that's what I wanted to ask, because sometimes people use these terms interchangeably, like I just did right now.
Yeah,
That statement of purpose, SOPs, and essays and all
yeah,
these. Sometimes you get so confused because there is so much to get in place. Right
yeah,
now we can discuss at ease, but when your application deadline is approaching,
yeah,
you will be all over the place. So it is important to know, to get your story chronologically right, and how it
Yeah.
directly affects the course that you want to take in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had a question on how did you choose a university. So if from what we have discussed so far, I believe when it came to Commonwealth Scholarship, there was a set of universities and course that you know boiled down to, and even they
Yeah.
sponsored only specific universities and course. But is there anything that stood out for University of Warwick among the five universities that you selected?
Mm, yeah, out of the five universities, like Warwick was like one of the like the course was like the most interested and most apt for me, like from all the perspectives. And I really loved the course structure and modules, how it was designed. So that was most
Right,
striking for me. Then also like Warwick was one of the top 10 in the UK. Work is
right,
top 10 in the UK. That is another thing that I looked into. Like that, but that I really, that was like my second or third priority. Like I was mostly looking into like the modules, like what exactly they are teaching. Like, will it be beneficial for me? Like, if it
right.
is something that I already know, what is the purpose of doing the masters? So yeah, so like I loved how the course was designed, and what all aspect they were covering. So that was the main thing that I was
Right.
looking into. Yeah, yeah, that was mostly I was looking into, like what exactly the module covers. Is it something that I already learned? Like what, like like we are gaining knowledge, so I should be learning new things. So like yeah, that was something that I was looking into, like whether like every
Yeah.
day will be like interesting to learn.
Yeah, I mean, you are going there with so much at stake. It make
Yeah,
better make every day count, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So I think we have covered almost all questions when it comes to your Commonwealth scholarships and university. Just couple one, two questions I have last, that what is student life like at Warwick and at UK? And what is something that you would like to tell all the attendees today or in future who are seeing this talk, you know?
Okay. Okay. Student life in the UK. So you are coming as an international student, and you're away from home, and you're away from all the food that you like, all the people that you love back home. So it is like you're teleported to a whole different place, meeting whole different people. And like it's not just British people that is here. Like it is an international, you know, international,
Mix of
yeah,
many
a
students,
mix
yeah.
of, like, all the people. So like like I am somebody who is not that homesick. So like I don't know if like what I say makes sense. So I really love exploring things, and traveling, etc., etc. So like when I came, like it was like I was so interested in, like getting to know different cultures, like how different it is from India, but also same in a way, but same but different. Like how they like uh take things the way, like
Right.
like it's all very different. And like when we kind of try to connect the dots, but it is the same as well. So we think that like, okay, people are like this, like people are different in that particular place. No, they are all people, like they are just from a different part of the world.
Background and
Yeah,
different set
different
of
part of the
habits,
world and
eating
different
habits and
experiences
preferences.
and
Yeah.
different, yeah. Yeah, so that was like sometimes it could be overwhelming at times, but not really. You will get to that flow in a while. So, and yeah, you will have to cook yourself. You will have to yeah, yeah, it's
Mm,
mostly like it's hectic, so it's necessary to make sure that we keep ourselves busy, we keep meeting people, we interact with people, not stress ourselves out, not reach a burnout situation at any point. Like they have a lot of mental health things and wellness centers here if you want to talk about it, or like if it is stressful, or if you're going through any health situations or anything. So like I'm like pretty comfortable here. Like I mean, I like
That's good to
India.
know.
Yeah, and
I'm
I
very happy for you.
made lot of friends. I made lot of friends. Yeah.
That's
So
amazing. And that's amazing to know because, changing environments and everything,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
just part of life and it will
yeah,
never
yeah,
go away. So we better make our peace with the constant changing
yeah.
environments. Yeah. And any last words, and, not last words because I know I will be seeing you a lot more on Nebula, but for now, any last advice for the people watching this Nebula talk right now or later?
Okay. I think I would say be open-minded. Um, is my one one advice, because like being open to anything will give you the flexibility to learn, explore stuff, like what like I am somebody who loves trial and error. So it helps me get to know what I want and what I do not want. So that has been work that has worked for me. I don't know, it will be different for different people. So I would say, like feel free to ask for help. Like if you're somebody like new to all this, like seek advice, seek help, be open minded. Like be open minded to learn, to gain experience, like like to get opportunities. Like opportunities are like are like, what do you call, doesn't knock all the time. You have to
Right.
grab that when it knocks.
Yeah.
If you miss it,
Yeah.
you missed it. So
Right.
yeah, so take advantage of all the opportunities. Also build a network, build a good network, in my opinion. So that is very important. So like I told, like my Jagriti Yatra was a very good opportunity for me as a third year undergrad student to build my network. So that
Right.
helped me a lot to navigate through the opportunities that are there, like not just in Kerala but across India. So yeah, so these are like some of the things that I would love to recommend. And yeah, research a lot.
Right. Keep reading, keep
Yeah,
writing.
keep reading, keep writing.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, the entire talk just like went by in a blink. I never realized when it is an hour since we've been speaking. So thank you so much. There is just so much to learn whenever we speak to a new scholar. I mean, we feel like okay, it's the same topic. What new things we'll know, but every time I am just taken back by the experiences all these scholars have across the board. So thank you so much for taking out time. We are in
Thank
different
you.
nations right now, but yet to be connected, it's great. And all the students who are watching this, please connect with her on Nebula. She's been a very giving mentor. There are mentors who help you, and like she loves helping people, so that is not something you should
Yeah,
take
I would love
advantage
to.
of.
I would
But
love to help.
but do keep in mind that you rarely find such people who are willing to help you, so make the most of it and connect with her on Nebula. And thank you so much. I'll be ending this broadcast now, but this video will be uploaded on YouTube very soon and also on Nebula platform, so feel free to check out if you missed any part or you joined late. Thank you so much once again, and I hope to see you very soon, doing making big strides in the world of sustainability.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All the best to you too.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.